Hello. Aren't you pretties? Hi guys, Tim Painter from Denver, Colorado. Hey, we came through a very tough time of heavy snow and frigid climbs. It was just horrible. But we've come through it. I guess there's another snowstorm coming in this weekend. And that's part of what being in boondocking and urban van dwelling is all about. You got to deal with these horrible climates. But I'm not alone. There are people all over the nation who are suffering probably the coldest winter I've seen for probably 10 or 15 years. Just amazing. I wanted to take a moment and talk about a very disturbing video put out by Carolyn'sRVlife. Carolyn, that so many of us know. And Carolyn had said in the video that she was trying to reach some people and that she knew that she couldn't reach everybody, that there were certain people that just couldn't accept the message, and obviously she wasn't really talking to those people. She was talking to the people who maybe could receive the message, who had maybe the mental capacity or the compassion to be able to receive that message. And I can say to you, Carolyn, I'm one of those guys. You really put your finger on my heart, and it made a big difference. So thank you for making the video. Apparently, Carolyn has received graphic death threats. We're not talking about criticism, constructive criticism, or even unkind words. We're talking about graphic threats against her life. Threats that anybody should take seriously. In today's world, we've got to take seriously. And which I find, honestly, very, very disturbing. I'm optimistic through vigilance and through appropriate police activity that they'll bring the person responsible for this to justice. We've got to put a stop to this. And just imagine if it was you. Isn't that what you would want? This is what we should all want, is that no one is able to make those kinds of threats to a person who is putting themselves out to the world the way Carolyn is. An attack on one of us is like an attack on the entire community. It's like they're trying to pick on one of our weak links and thereby attack every one of us. And as a result, we need to be prepared. We need to stand up and protect each other. We need to fight for each other. And we need to say to outside people who would come into our community and attack us, we need to say, no, that's not going to work. What I would suggest for Carolyn is that she put a copy of this communication, whether it was an email or a remark in her blog, along with the email or however the message was sent, somewhere where we can see it, so that we can all be aware of who this person is, and we can all be on alert to make sure this person isn't trolling our page or ready to make some kind of comment just like that to us. The RTR is a meeting of nomads in the desert in the month of January, and it been happening now for 9 years. One thing I would say to the RTR organizers is this is the kind of thing that you should alert all of us to. We all should have known that there were death threats against some of the speakers, at least one of the speakers, because at that point, we know that we need to protect ourselves, but also we can start watching out for everyone else. Who is thinking that we're going to a desert event of nomads, the most harmless people in the world, and that there are death threats, that there might be somebody lurking in the crowd or somewhere that wants to cause harm? Since none of us knew about these death threats, none of us were guarding against them. You just don't think that you're going to go out into the middle of the desert on a camping expedition and then encounter some strange guy trying to cause harm to some of the women in that event. You just don't expect that. It would have made having security on site a little more palatable if we had known that there were active death threats. We can learn a lot from the animal community. Geese, for example, are very, very smart animals. And when you come upon a gaggle of geese, you always notice that there's at least one, sometimes two or three, geese with their necks stuck way up. They're always on the alert for predators and people that might come into their community and cause harm. I think as nomads that we should adopt the same thinking, that within our community that we are going to protect each other, and we're always going to be on alert, and we're always going to be prepared. And so when the RTR had death threats for some of their speakers, that's something we should have all known about, because we all could have been on guard. We all could have been helping keep watch out. We all could have been helping to make sure that Carolyn stayed safe. I don't have any troubles with parody channels or public criticism or people making fun of what we do. I think it's all fair game when you go out and put yourself out that way to the internet, to the whole world. You have to be prepared for it. You have to kind of expect that not everybody's going to accept it. At the same time, I think it's very inappropriate when anyone makes a physical threat or a death threat against one of us. I think we all need to stand up and say, that's not going to happen in our community. As far as I'm concerned, constructive criticism is always welcome. I think that's how we get better. But for those very few people who want to cause harm, who are acting like they're really serious about threatening us or hurting us, we're going to turn you in, the authorities are going to hunt you down, and you're going to go to jail where you belong. In case anybody's not familiar with the law, let me make it really clear. It's illegal to threaten someone's life. It is actionable, and you can go to jail for it. A message to Carolyn. My heart goes out to you over the loss of Capone. He was a noble character in all your films, and my heart is really with you. One thing I'm never going to do is knock on your door after seeing your film and understanding your need for your own privacy and your security. I do, of course, like many people, would like to meet you again and hear more of your stories, but there's a way to do it and there's a way not to do it, and at least now I'm a little better educated about how not to do it. Well, guys, my name is Tim Painter. If you like what you see, please push the like. I'd love to hear your comments. If you agree with me, you can dump them right down there. And if you don't agree with me, I'd love to hear it. I'm always open to anyone's point of view, and I think that's what we need to have, is a very diverse, very wide discussion on these issues. The lifeblood of this channel is subscribers, and so if this is your first time here, please subscribe. My heart is with all of you, and I wish you all the very best. Well, once again, Tim Painter from the Van Life, signing off.